Hey, welcome back to the Too Fast channel. In today's tabletop review and unboxing, we are looking at a laser sight for the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. This is designed to fit the 9mm or the 40. This does not fit the Shield Plus. Found this item made by WarriorLand on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. Also put their website if you want to check it out. This cost me $59.99, which was very reasonable for this type of product. This WarriorLand Red Dot Shield laser carries a part number of WLS-102. This is a Class 3R laser, so it has 5 milliwatts of power output. It is a Class 3A laser. So this item is custom made. This isn't just a Picatinny rail bolt-on laser. This is made specifically to fit the Shield. Now, if you have a Shield or you're familiar with it, you know that because of its profile and its lack of Picatinny rails under the barrel, you can't really fit a lot of things to this particular firearm. So, for the most part, all I've had are Trijicon night sights on it, and that's basically it. So this is my first endeavor with doing some modifications to the Shield. So let's see, let's get some talking points out of the way, then I will unbox this. So in this package for $59.99, you get the laser sight, you get 2 sets of CR-1/3N batteries. You get 1 wrench for installation and windage and elevation adjustments. You get 2 cotton swabs, which is really nice. Not like I, really need cotton swabs, but it's great that they come with cotton swabs. You get a user manual and a waterproof ring, which, well, that's what they call it. It's an O-ring for the battery compartment. So let's see. This particular laser also has a battery indicator light on it. So it will show green when the battery is at 70 to 100%, blue at 20 to 70%, and red at 0 to 20%. Supposedly, this is the first laser of this type with a battery indicator, or that's what they say. Let's see. The control buttons on it, you have momentary and on and off, and both are ambidextrous. They list a operating temperature of -4 degrees Fahrenheit to 131 Fahrenheit. So it can work in extreme cold or extreme heat. It does have a 1-year warranty and 24/7 customer service. So those are most of the talking points, assuming I don't knock over the camera. It comes in this nice little black box. You've got the WarriorLand logo with "Light the Way to Victory," their motto, so to speak. So you got WarriorLand on here. They have their support number at 310-431-5672. Website is www.warriorland.co, and email is info@usawarriorland.com. Nice little box it comes in. So this is some foam material to protect the laser while it's in the box. Let's pull the whole thing out. So you can see how this is designed. This is designed to fit around the trigger guard and then underneath the barrel. So it is a pretty interesting design. And this is the battery compartment. You can use a empty shell casing to open up the battery compartment, or a coin. In my case, I believe I brought a coin. I guess it does not come with the penny. I brought the penny. You've got two batteries in little sealed cases, or little sealed baggies, excuse me. These are interesting batteries. I haven't personally seen these before. These are the CR-1/3N batteries, just like I read off earlier. They look like an LR44, but there's like two of them. So it's like two of those stacked together. I have no idea if you could use two LR44s or not. I haven't experimented. So it comes with two sets of batteries. And we'll put this little baggie down here. And the beautiful cotton swabs that they've included, like nobody has Q-tips at their home anymore. Although I will admit that these are pointed. It's not easy to find pointed Q-tips. So with the pointed Q-tips, it would be a lot easier to get in here and do cleaning. Those big fat Q-tips are not going to be as efficient as these small pointed ones. There's an extra O-ring and the user guide. There is a O-ring on the battery compartment also. This is an extra. Let's not lose that. Keep that in the bag. Okay, so that is everything that you get in the package. So looking at this, obviously we've got ambidextrous buttons. They're not a click-on, click-off type of button. So they are an electronic type of button where you've got a let's see, if you press and hold, I believe it's momentary. If you press it once quickly, it comes on full time. We'll find that out when we get it installed. So that is pretty much it. Now this is a two-part assembly, and we have to let's see, what are we talking about first? So you've got your windage and your elevation right here, and our tool fits those right there. To disassemble this, we need to remove 1, 2, 3 of these little hex head screws. And let's move some of this out of the way. Move the extra battery out. All right, so this is my first gen. I think it's a first gen Smith & Wesson Shield. I've had this for a while. This is an excellent EDC carry. Like I said, I've done some roll mark colors in gold on it, which I kind of liked. That's kind of different. Normally I do red or white. And we've got the night sights on it. And obviously this has been safety checked already. So you can see with the Shield, you don't really have a Picatinny rail here. So putting anything under the barrel is a bit challenging. Even putting, like a red dot on here. I know some people have done red dots, but they're so big that they stick out, and it really, to me, it detracts from the low profile of this, because this is a single stack 9mm. So the thinness of the firearm along with the magazine makes it much more comfortable for EDC carry compared to like a G19 or a G17 with the double stack. It's much wider. So I don't have a large frame, so large bulky firearms are not comfortable for me. So I have a Ruger LCP, and this, and I switch in between these two depending upon my particular needs. Anyway, enough of that banter. Let's see what we can do about taking this apart. So we're going to remove these 3 screws. And pardon me if I don't get everything absolutely perfect here. I'm trying to do this while I'm looking at the display of the camera instead of looking at the device. If I look at the device and don't look at the camera, then it ends up being way over here and you can't see anything. All right, so let's remove these. I would advise doing this over someplace safe. I wouldn't do this over your carpet. These screws are kind of small. If you drop one, you might have trouble finding it if you got shag carpet. And they are pretty long. All right. There's no batteries in it currently. You could remove the battery compartment. I believe this will come apart with it in place, but let's just go ahead and remove it using a penny for this. So there is the battery compartment. You can see there's a plus at the bottom of this. So that's your indicator that the plus side of the battery goes down when you insert it. So I guess we could just put this in here before I completely take it apart. You can put the battery in here and just take a look at it. And you can see the power indicator came on green, which shows that we have a 70 to 100% charge in the battery. Just tighten that up a little bit. So if I press and hold, we have momentary. Press once quickly and it comes on and stays on. And it's ambidextrous. So I have no issues with that. The button is easy enough to find. Once this is on, you reach your finger out, it's raised up over this. It's not like it's recessed and you have to hunt for it. You can easily feel the button with either hand, so you know right where it is. So that's good. Some thought process put into that. I've seen similar devices where the buttons are flush with the plastic and you can't really feel it. You got to kind of learn from muscle memory where the button is. So I like this ability where the button is actually just a little bit above this, so you know right where it is. Okay, so all right, we'll take the battery back out and we'll take this apart. Since you saw the power indicator light and you saw the LED working, we've got one more screw to remove. Now these screws are not really tight right at the moment because I've already taken this apart and I've already test fitted it to make sure that I don't run into some problem that I have to cut out of the video or fast forward over. That way I can be more efficient at making the video and there'll be less profanity also. So here it comes apart. Now down here at the bottom, you got to kind of pull this part out a little bit because it kind of hooks under. So when you go to put it together, it kind of goes in like that and slides down. So you don't want to force it. Just remember that it's almost like a little hinge right there. It kind of hinges open. While we have it apart, you can see the inside. There's not much to look at in the battery compartment. Got some circuitry. Obviously, putting it together, you want to make sure that you don't damage that circuit board in any way, shape, or form. There's really nothing on that other side right there. So that's the inside. Let me take a little closer look at this myself. Well, it's a little circuit board with some chips on it. Very small. And I'm just looking to see if there's any stampings on this. Like Like, what type of plastic did they use to make this? The only indicator I have is on the inside of this is MPS. I don't know if that's an indicator of the type of plastic or not. And the information about this doesn't tell me what kind of plastic it's made out of. All right, so with our shield, safety check, we are going to install this. Yes, I'm one of those types of people that likes to install things without reading the instruction manual. All right, so this right here has to hook over the trigger guard. So we're going to hook it over, and then down here, we're going to hook it over and kind of push it into place, because this is going to be a tight fit. It is made specifically to fit very tight and very seamless onto the firearm, just like that. So it's not difficult to install, but you do have to finesse it into place, and that's by design, obviously. Now this part, like I showed you before, we're going to bring it in from the top down, and I think we can do this. There we go. So we just have to squeeze it. It fits nice and tight. And you can see how seamless this is. It blends in and almost looks like it's part of the firearm. Now we have obviously we have a little gap there because we haven't put the screws in yet, but you can see how meticulously this design is. Very seamless. Now, the big drawback with this is if you already have a holster, and the holster's not designed for a shield with a light or a laser on it, you're going to have to get a new holster, which is kind of what I discovered. I wasn't even thinking about the holster situation. One more thing for me to buy. I'm going to put these screws in. Let's get this one going since it was being a little difficult. It is going in. Try to speed this up a little bit. There we go. And when you get down to tightening, you don't need to make these screws super tight. Remember, these things are threading into plastic, so snug them up, but don't put a lot of torque on it. You don't want to strip out the threads in the plastic. Metal screws in plastic. And I don't believe they gave a recommended torque setting for these screws. So just use the snug method, which works fine. And you probably will have to hold the two parts together a little bit because it fits very tight. You don't want to use the screw to pull the two parts together. You want to squeeze it together yourself and then snug the screws down. And once done, you can see we've got virtually no gap. It's very clean and it fits absolutely perfect. I mean, there's no snags, there's no rough parts, everything's rounded. We don't have any type of compromise with the space in here. Obviously, it does take up a little bit of space. So maybe if you had thick gloves on, that could be a problem, but you can see very nicely done. You can see with my finger. Now, I have small hands, so I wear a size 7 glove. So I wear a size 7 tactical glove. That would be considered a small by most people's standards, but I can reach this button no problem. I guess it would help if I put the battery in. So let's try with the battery in. Green light's blinking as I tighten it up. Yes, I have no problem reaching the on-off button with it. So even for someone with small hands, very easy to do. And of course, it is ambidextrous. So if you're left-handed, and let's see. Obviously, the windage and elevation on this needs to be adjusted. So let's. I'm not going to adjust it completely on video here. This is, but let's see. Let's see what this one does. And this one. Okay, so we have our windage on the side. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but we're moving the LED to the left and right of our front sight, and the bottom is the elevation. So those are the two settings. Now, for setting up something like this, what I would recommend is using, well, this is my personal preference. Obviously, for you to sight in your particular firearm, that's kind of up to you. But what I like using is this particular one is a 9mm sighting tool. It's a laser. This one's actually damaged. That's why I have it down here. My good one is not down here. Anyway, this takes little batteries, and you put this in the chamber of your firearm, and this laser basically shows you exactly where your bullet would land in theory. And you can use this to adjust iron sights, to adjust red dots, and in this case, you can also use it to adjust that laser. So point of aim, point of impact. I find these real handy. I like these. That's just my preferred method. And then, of course, if you're sighting in a rifle, you might do a 25-yard sight in. On a pistol, you might do 7 yards. I kind of depends. There's different thought processes on how to what distance to use for sighting in a pistol versus a firearm and such. Anyway, that would be my recommendation, and that's what I'm going to do. later on. I like the way this fits. It is perfect for this firearm. It blends in. It's easy for me to use. I can access the batteries without removing this. There's really no need to remove this at all once you get it put on. And then, of course, once you get it sighted in, you shouldn't have any issues with the laser moving. And the only thing you've got to do is you got to make sure you get a holster that will accommodate a shield. Well, in this case, it's a shield. Accommodate the shield with a laser on it. And the holster might be sold as having the capability to house a light. It may not the manufacturer may not specifically say laser, but they might say a sight or a light. And if that's what they have available, most likely that would work for this, because if you put something like this that is a light, I know I've seen this design before that has a little light in it, and it's roughly the same shape. So if it can hold a shield with a laser or a light, it can hold a shield with a laser. So that'll be my next project, is to find a suitable holster for this. But yeah, I really like the design of this and the fit and finish, and I really like the price. It would be nice if this had a rechargeable battery in it and a little magnetic charger. Maybe for Gen 2, they might consider coming out with something like that. I would like that also. But, these batteries are relatively inexpensive. So to me, it's not a big deal that it uses non-rechargeable batteries. But, you see a lot of lights and other firearms related products that are going with internal lithium batteries and either a USB-C charger to charge them, or in some cases a magnetic charger that just kind of attaches to the bottom of the device and charges it up. I like those. I like those a lot. I think that's an evolution of the technologies that we've had for many, many years. So anyway, this pretty much is going to wrap up the WarriorLand red laser sight. I should mention that WarriorLand has a lot more than just this device. They've got lights, they've got holsters, they've got lasers. Check out their Amazon store or their actual website, because if you're not interested in a laser, they've got plenty of lights, they've got lots of holsters, lots of different tactical products for reasonable prices. And I'm always looking for reasonable prices. As much as I love American-made products and uh, aim points and so on, they're just, if you own a lot of firearms, it's kind of tough to put an aim point on all of them. At least for me, it is. But let's quickly take a gander at this user guide before I terminate this video. So you see the specs there. We got the wavelength, the laser spot, the runtime, 4 hours on the battery. Operating temps. There's the operating temps in Celsius. I read them off in Fahrenheit earlier. I'm not going to read everything on here. I'm just going to make sure it's in frame. You can always pause the video if you want to read any of this. And it does say, I will mention this, it does say do not store this device with battery installed. So if you plan on using this for a period of time, take the battery out. So I will mention that. We've got power indicator. We talked about the battery. So, okay, so here's models that are available. So it looks like this is a list of their lasers. So we're looking at the WLS-102. That's a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. So we have the Sig Sauer P365, the Taurus G2C, G3C. You got the G17, the G19, the G43, 43X, Ruger LC9. I did ask if they had something for the LCP. They do not, which is unfortunate. I would have loved to have a little laser on my LCP. Ruger, Smith & Wesson, CSK, and okay. So that's, you can see they've got a pretty wide range of lasers for different models, most of the popular models that are out there. And free repair or replacement within 30 days, 1-year warranty. And there's the contact information. So that's the user manual. Hopefully that wasn't too extremely boring, but definitely like to go over the user manuals because to me, the data contained in here is very useful, and it's always good to have diagrams and useful information in the user manual for maintenance, battery replacements, and installation. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video on the WarriorLand. If I can get any type of discounts or coupon codes from WarriorLand, look in the video description. I will put them there if I can get my hands on any. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.